this week's episode, we'll be talking about the vulnerability principle part 2, trust and how it leads to sales, along with small businesses and the important element of sales. For the first small business tip, vulnerability principle part 2. Now, I talked about this principle in regards to how a sales situation, if a client senses any weakness within the room, they'll be able to pull your string as much as they want. But this principle also applies in a management situation. And now that we have formed a team of Limbic over the past couple months, in the beginning, one essential thing that I realized is it is very crucial to be showcased that I'm vulnerable as well, in the sense that when I'm dealing with someone where I'm working with Limbic, yeah, I f up all the time. So it's not about, there's a lot of time I can hide those f-ups and not show to other people, but sometimes it's beneficial to show those people those f-ups because it's crucial for them to feel comfortable within the work environment. And in order to feel crucial within the work environment, the top dog has to be able to be infallible. He has to be able to make mistakes. He has to be able to showcase that he makes mistakes so other people feel comfortable in doing that. Once they feel comfortable in doing that, that's when innovation happens, because in order for innovation to happen, disruption needs to happen. And in order for disruption needs to happen, mistakes need to occur. So that's just something to keep in mind. Second small business tip is trust is what leads to sales. In the previous episode, we talked about a client that we had and the pressure that we had to put on them in order to show the confidence to attain the sales amount that we had previously signed them for. But within this small business tip specifically, what I want to talk about is 97% of sales occur because the sales rep has established trust within the relationship. And how do you establish trust is you exhibit confidence. And this is something that's kind of difficult to teach to someone who hasn't had the experience. Is with the confidence comes a little bit of cockiness. At least when I do sales, when I do sales, it's kind of the vibe that, look, go ahead and not try me out, but you're not gonna find anything that's better in terms of price and in terms of quality. And what does that equal? Value. When you get to the value equation, it's a wrap. Anyone will take value. Essentially, confidence, standing your ground. These things are essential to building the confidence, and obviously the experience doesn't hurt. If you don't have the experience, remember in the beginning everyone is shy, everyone is nervous, everyone doesn't know what the hell to do. Once you're firm, it's very difficult for someone to be able to negotiate with you, and you need to have the higher power card within the situation, especially within my specific situation, because most of the time I'm the younger individual talking to the older individual. It's very easy for them to pull my strings. So it's crucial that the power is asserted from the beginning so they realize that, all right, he's not fucking around. There's no room to wiggle. It's either this, do or die. It's his way or the highway, whatever the hell it might be. For the third small business tip, what we're gonna be talking about here is the importance of sales within any grassroots small business. Sales is the most important skill within any small business, not because the fact that you are attaining clients. No, it's because the fact that you are gonna develop the confidence to be able to sell a variety of people when you start doing sales. You're gonna be able to getting used to rejection, which is something that not many people are used to. You are gonna start being conscious of different strategies that work when you sell people. You are start gonna notice assumptions that you thought, all right, these things are gonna work if I say it like this, if I explain it like this, if I put it on a flyer like this. All these assumptions are proven once you actually go out to the individuals and literally prove the assumptions. All these assumptions are proven once you go out to the individuals and showcase them everything that you think is gonna work, and when they say, this is not gonna work, this is not gonna work, this is not gonna work. Because sales is the most integral part of any small business is why we formed the Limbic pipeline in terms of having the multiple partners. There's a variety of lessons that I've learned from forming this pipeline over the past 6 or 7 months, and a lot of these episodes I know are kind of intermixing between technical tips and management tips and psychological tips, self-management tips, but bear with me in terms of how this story is going to come together. So essentially, the Limbic pipeline and the story of partners is something we'll talk about later. In terms of sales being the most crucial part of any small business, I told you why that was the case. Now, real quick, in terms of thinking along the lines of sales, and this is I really didn't want to use this example, but it is a good example to use, is the Wolf of Wall Street example in terms of selling the pen.
Sell me that pen, watch, go on.
Let me sell this fucking pen.
That's my boy right there.
This pen.
Fucking sell anything.
Why don't you do me a favor? Write your name down on that napkin for me.
I don't have a pen.
Exactly. Supply and demand, my friend.
Once you think along the lines of supply and demand on a regular damn basis, you will get to where you want to be. How does he sell the pen? He has to do to write something down. Does he have a pen? No, it's the demand. Give him the supply. Boom. Game over. This equation can go a lot more in depth than what I just described, but start thinking along those lines. It's another part of the conditional thinking, being conscious, is how can I use these things in supply and demand? Finding the right problem. That's more important than the solution, because the solution nowadays we can get to. We talked about this. Find all the right problems and you'll be good to go. On next week's episode, we'll be talking about the difficulty in finding a team, leadership, and the importance of being the punching bag, especially when you're in higher management.